Hello. Am I the asshole for being a human, doing human things? You're the asshole. Exactly. That's how this works. Am I the asshole for ducking when my sister's friend used me as an armrest, causing her to fall? I'm a teenage girl. My sister's friend is 1 year older than me. We'll call her Stacy because that's her name. Okay. We'll call her Stacy because that's her name. I'm short. I know I'm short. I look 10. Stacy is always teasing me about being short. She nicknamed me Frodo. Once she used my head as an armrest and I told her to never do that again. I don't think being short is even that bad. An economy plane seat is comfortably roomy for me. That's actually the best thing that you could possibly get out of being short. 100%. It's an advantage in the sport I play. Kids' shoes are way cheaper than adults. But anyway, Stacy was over yesterday. She used me as an armrest again. I ducked away. She lost her balance and she fell. She wasn't hurt, but she was embarrassed. She's angry at me for being unable to take a joke and it's refusing to enter our house until I apologize, which I think is great. But my sister thinks is terrible. My mom thinks I should have been the bigger person and told Stacy to get off instead of ducking. You cringe, you dream. My dad thinks it's funny and Stacy got what she deserves. I agree. My sister wants me to apologize and says I'm Def the asshole, but our brother says I'm not the asshole. Stacy's a jerk. She armrests him too. So I don't know. If I'm the asshole, then I'll probably call Stacy and apologize. If not the asshole, then I guess Stacy won't come over ever again. So I feel like this one is pretty open and shut. Not the asshole at all. And if anything, little Miss Frodo could have been like, hey, bitch, if you don't apologize for keep using me as an armrest, then you can't come in my house. So you know what? I think problem solved. She told her not to do it. She told her she didn't like it. And she did not respect that boundary. So that's on her. Stacy's a fucking bitch. What parent allows their kid to be bullied? I totally agree. The mom's also an idiot. But the mom, to be fair, the sister's probably going to the mom upset, being like, she just needs to apologize. She's not gonna come over anymore. She's my friend, blah, blah, blah. So she's kind of having to be the middleman, whereas the dad's like, fuck that. Fuck your friend. Am I the asshole for giving my stepdaughter a Snickers bar? I, 25-year-old female, am married to my husband, Richard, 42-year-old male. Okay. He has two identical twin daughters with his ex-wife who are 9 years old. For the purpose of this post, I'll call them Isabel and Maria. Is that their real name? Are you saying that because that's their name? I struggled to tell the girls apart, so my husband gave Isabel a pink wristband and Maria a blue one so I could tell them apart. I am currently 5 months pregnant with our son, and one of my biggest cravings is a Snickers bar. This is an issue because Maria is allergic to nuts. Wait a second. Oh no. So I usually eat them in my car or a bedroom or in the backyard to avoid contamination. Maria's allergy is quite severe and she knows she isn't supposed to eat anything with nuts in them. On Friday, I was sat in my bedroom going ham on some mini Snickers bars while watching Netflix while one of the twins came in my room. I asked who she was and she said she was Isabel and she asked to come and sit by me. I didn't even know that she was at home, but she told me that her dad dropped her off with the key and went back to work, which is something he does often without telling me. I checked the wristband to make sure it was Isabel and she had a pink one on, so I didn't think twice and let her sit with me. She took a piece of chocolate from me and ate it, which to be confirmed, it was Isabel because Maria knows she's not supposed to have Snickers. Turns out I was wrong and the girls had swapped the wristbands to play a joke on me and she immediately started experiencing reaction. Thankfully, I had an EpiPen and drove her to the ER and called my husband. He called their mother, who was infuriated, and he started yelling at me in the ER waiting room and I ended up having a panic attack. Maria ended up being fine and the girls came clean about wanting to play a prank on me. Maria hasn't had a reaction for the past few years, so she's saying she forgot about how bad and serious that they were. My husband is on my side and he's saying that Maria is old enough to know she shouldn't be eating any nut products, and it's not my fault that I thought she was Isabel, but their mother is saying I shouldn't have any nut products in the house that could tempt Maria, and since I struggled to tell them apart, the smart thing would be for me not to allow either of them to have the chocolate. She's now demanding that the girls aren't to be left alone with me, and the other family members are berating me for being careless. I just feel so awful and terrible, and I would like an unbiased outside perspective on the situation. Am I the asshole for giving my stepdaughter a Snickers bar? Edit. I'm autistic, so I struggle with faces. I am actively trying to memorize their differences. For the people mad in chat for her not knowing the twins apart. Okay, this is clearly not the asshole. I think that it was a little careless to give either of them any Snickers or nut products. I feel like if one can't, the other shouldn't be able to either, just to be safe. Or like, if you're so cautious about cross-contamination, why would you give one of the children nuts anyway? At 9, the kids should know better. They should know better, but they are still 9. They are children. And I do understand the mom freaking out because it's the mother of the children, who is now dealing with the new woman of her ex-husband. And who knows how their relationship ended? Who knows how she feels? So at the end of the day, she's probably doesn't even vibe with her anyways. So like, I can understand maybe her being mad. Am I the asshole for telling my kid the real reason me and her father split? So me and my ex-husband split about a year ago. He had been cheating for over half the amount of years we've been together, and I caught him in bed with a man and a woman. He was bisexual. I divorced him soon after despite all the pleads, and we went our separate ways. I've tried to briefly explain, without outing him to my daughter, 15-year-old female, why we were splitting. My intention was to never turn her away from her dad or make her hate him. We had originally stated that we would try to keep this as brief and shelter our daughter from this harsh time as much as possible. Lately, she has been very hateful and disrespectful towards me. For the longest, I couldn't understand why. Until she had gotten into a fit and told me that I ruined her life, and if I just kept my legs closed, she would still have her family back together. What is the husband telling the daughter? Okay, this is where it's gonna get spicy. This shocked me. At first I was pissed, but then I was confused as to where she got this information from. I'd asked her before and she said that she wasn't going to talk to me when I was the one who ruined her life. I called her father and asked him if he knew anything about this and that if he had told anyone that I was the one who fucked up. But he dismissed anything and everything I said and had no clue where she had gotten the information from. Now I was really confused and back to angry that she said this to me. But I chose to wait until I knew what was really going on. I tried talking to her multiple times, but she continued to shut me down and say that I ruined her life. I'm a terrible mom. I chose sex above her family. I'm the only one to blame for her not having a mom and a dad anymore. I reached out to all my family and friends to see if they had said anything that would have led to this as well. Now, I'm not proud of this, but I saw a message come up on my daughter's phone, so I peeked at it. The message read, "I know, sweetie, just 3 more days." And it was from her dad. I opened the phone to see tons of messages and them going back and forth with her telling him that she was sick of being here. She didn't want to be near me after what I did. She couldn't believe that I would cheat. She's disgusted by me, and her father just agreed and consoled her. I asked multiple times if he knew anything about her behavior, and he said no. He put the blame on me for no reason. I called him once again after that and messaged him about it when he didn't respond and got left on red. I sat my daughter down and told her I know that she's angry at me, and I tried to shelter her from this and keep her as far away from this as possible, but I won't be held accountable for actions that weren't mine. I left any and all questions that couldn't say without his perspective out. She was shocked and apologized for her behavior. This wasn't some petty revenge to get back at him, but I can't have my relationship with her ruined either. And now I'm getting blasted by all of my family for this. So am I the asshole? To everyone reading this, do not take that I divorced because of his sexuality, nor I say what I did for the malicious intent behind it. I respected him before this, and I still respect him now, and I left any questions I couldn't fully answer to her, so nothing was left misunderstood. Wow. The dad is a piece of shit. The dad is a total piece of shit. It's so funny that you start by, am I the asshole for telling my kid the real reason me and her father split? It's like, oh girl, you should not have done that. He was cheating, but you hate him because he's bi. Fucking head ass comments. I know. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe you would even mention that he's bi. You clearly hate him because of his sexuality. Motherfucker, I caught him in bed with 2 other people. That's why we divorced, not because he was bi. Definitely brought it on himself. He already told the daughter that the mother was the one that cheated. So obviously she has full right to say what actually fucking happened, the truth. Obviously, not the asshole to the mother. It's the dad's fault. She literally respected him enough to not say a single word to the daughter, even though that he completely ruined the family. Am I the asshole for not allowing my boyfriend to come with me on a trip since he was about to ask his parents to pay for all the expenses? My 20-year-old female friends from uni and I have been planning to go on a trip next March since the beginning of the year. Since 2 of my friends are bringing their parents along with them, I've asked my boyfriend, 19-year-old male, if he wanted to come under the condition that he earned the money himself to cover his expenses, including the plane tickets and accommodations, which had come around to be around $5,000 Canadian. I made this request months ago because I knew he was just going to ask his parents for the money and cover the expenses, which they'd always given him, like when his brother asked for $3,000 for a gaming setup and when he asked for $2,000 so he can have a TV in his room. His family isn't super wealthy, but they are well-to-do, and his mom has tried to ask him to try to get a part-time job during the school break, to which he has always said he'll try, but he ends up never getting one. I grew up in a household where we often had to get by, and thus has been working multiple part-time jobs since I was 16. And I've been trying to urge him to get a job with his mother. I'm like back and forth on how I feel right now. A couple of days ago, he told me he wanted to go on the trip with me, which shocked me as I questioned how he was going to get the $5,000 since we have classes and semester break doesn't start until February. He told me he asked his parents and they agreed to help pay for his expenses. I told him no, I would not be allowing him to go on the trip with me, and he refused to share our itinerary document with him since I made it clear I didn't want his parents to pay for his expenses and established that he would have to earn his keep. But he told me that this is something that I should have zero say over since I was never in charge of how his parents spend their money. We had a fight over this, and he called me a controlling, manipulative freak before or ranting to my friends, partners who are going on this trip with us. We're all part of the same friend group. They all agreed that I was a little out of line and I should have no say over how we arrange the funds needed. I don't want to rant to my other friends about this since I don't want them to think badly of me or my boyfriend, but it really made me confused as I have no clue if I'm the one at fault here. Am I the asshole? So I see a lot of people being like, weird take, not her choice, blah, 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 all this stuff. So I go back and forth, right? So should he be able to just ask his parents for money and her have no say in it? Technically, yeah. But like at the same time, if they're in a relationship and she clearly values money in the way that you should as you're growing up, whereas he's always had everything given to him. And this could be leaning more towards her being worried that he's never going to get a job and he's never going to earn money on his own. So she thought that she could use this situation to help push him in the right direction to get a job, to actually earn the money instead of just asking for the money. So I think that maybe this is like a future planning where she's like, hey, like you really need to get a job and like earn your keep, or like, cause like I that's something that I value in a person. But this is where it becomes not really her say. Like she clearly just thinks that he's just getting money whenever he asks for it, so that's not a really good way to grow up. Like that's definitely doesn't help build character or prepare you for the future. But I think they're only 19 and 20, right? She's like, yeah, no, like I want to use this as an example of, hey, you should be earning your own money and not just asking for money, and that he should get a job. I think that the stipulation that she should have made is like, maybe you have to work on getting a job or something, but not like getting a job and then earning $5,000. That's a really big jump. I think you should start small if that's something that you're worried about, and maybe have an actual conversation and use communication to talk to him about if these are the issues that you're worried about. Because right now you're just saying, no, you have to earn your money or else you're not coming. And I don't think that you're properly communicating why it is that you want him to earn the money himself, probably because you are very young, so you're still learning. But at the end of the day, if this is something that you value and you can see that this is somebody that doesn't value that and it's going to continue being this way until they're older, break up with him now. Break up with him now. Don't be the, I can fix him, I can teach him. You can't force someone to learn values that you have. Like you can talk to them and try to communicate that these are issues that you have, but without communication and just making it as demands and like punishments for not doing it, then it's never gonna work. Am I the asshole for not wanting to get rid of my gang tattoos for my daughter's sake? Interesting. I spent 7 years in prison and I got out 3 years ago. I am now 30. I was a criminal and a horrible person. I did a lot of fucked up stuff, most of it related to my gang. I currently have a 2-year-old daughter, Mia. Me and the mom aren't married, but we share custody of Mia. When Mia was born, I was already halfway out the door of the gang, and the birth of Mia gave me the push that I needed. I moved away with Mia and her mom, and we tried our best to start over. I love Mia with all my heart. She saved my life. I have a lot of gang-related tattoos, and I do mean a lot. They are pretty prominently displayed on me and are very noticeable. Mia's mother has been after me to get rid of them or cover them up with other tattoos. Thing is, I don't want to do that. It's not that I'm proud of them or that I like them. It's that they remind me of how far I've come and I don't want to forget it. I don't want to forget what happened. I don't think I should get to just forget it like that. I eventually broke down and told her this after she asked me again yesterday about it. She got super upset with me and said that I needed to do it for the sake of our daughter, and that if I didn't, then that means that I missed the life. She also said that I was putting my daughter in danger because somebody could recognize my tattoos and cause trouble for me. I told her that I haven't been in that life for years and that it's unfair to her to say as that she knows that I love Mia. I'm honestly conflicted. I've gone back and forth about what to do with my tattoos, and I thought that I had reached a reasonable decision. Damn, there is an update on this one. But this is difficult because I can see what he's saying. He's saying, hey, like, I feel like these are badges that I need to wear because I don't think I should just get away with never having to, what do you say? I don't think I should just get to forget like that. It's a very immature view. I don't fully agree. So the fact that he said, I don't think I should get to forget just like that. So it's not like he's wearing them as a sign of pride. He's wearing them to remind himself that he used to be a piece of shit and he never wants to go back to that. So I do understand his mentality being like, I don't want to get rid of them because then it's like it never happened and I feel like I should live with that. But it definitely is a safety issue because if they are a prominent gang, people could definitely, especially because you're wearing them so proudly still, definitely people could see that and think that you're still in those gangs and cause trouble for you or your daughter, your family. They remind me of how far I've come is pride. Okay, so I guess that is true because he's using them as a reminder being like, I used to be that, but look how good I am now. So that I guess that definitely could be turned into like a pride. I think that there should be able to be some kind of compromise. Like, I know that he said that they're all pretty visible. Maybe remove or cover the ones that are visible to the normal person, but maybe don't get rid of all of them, just so that it's not as prominent. It doesn't feel like that is what you are still. I don't think he's mentally over being in a gang and is making excuses for that fact. You think so? I feel like that's unfair to say because he was in prison for 7 years. Update. I listened to what everyone told me, and one person in particular has suggested that I get Mia to draw something to cover up some of my tattoos. Well, I got her to do that, and I cover up some of the most significant ones with her drawings. They have all turned out beautifully, and I'm so grateful for the idea. I'm working on incorporating my remaining tattoos into a new design, as other people also just suggested. I also tried to work through the existing feelings I have regarding my old gang. Mia's mother has been very supportive regarding all of this, and our relationship has been a work in progress too. It's been a work in progress, but seeing my tattoos turn into something I love has been a very cathartic experience. It's so unexpectedly wholesome. This guy sounds very emotionally mature. Proud of him. See what one post you can judge somebody so harshly to the next post being like, damn, wow, he really took that in. So I feel like he genuinely wasn't sure and didn't know how to handle the situation. So like, I love it when I hear and I see these posts that somebody genuinely being like, I don't know, I'm unsure, I don't know who to talk to. What do you guys think? The whole of the world, like socially, what do you think is the proper way to handle this? And to absorb all of the different people's opinions and then work out a situation that works best for you and your family. If you think displaying emotions is a woman moment, then you just might be very emotionally immature and need to work on yourself.